giving back more value to our network. And I know there's a lot of brilliance in this room. And so hopefully Adam and I can kick it off and inspire others to want to share what they're good at, their one thing, so that we can continue to contribute to this network. It's all about production, especially in today's world, right? We're with EXP. There's a lot of other benefits, but without production, none of the rest of it works. And so what I'm going to break down today is I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, my story, and then I'm going to go in depth on my proven playbook on how to make $100,000 plus in any market, regardless of market conditions. As a matter of fact, I'll show you how to make more money when the market gets tougher. So I'm going to break that down. Adam, can you let me share my screen, please?
Yes, sir. Thought I already did that. I thought I made you the host already, but let's see here. All right. Try that.
There we go. All right, you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to go through some of this quickly. This is a knockoff of a presentation that I've already done, but I've added to it. I have more time with you today, and I want to have some time at the end for Q&A. So if you guys have questions while we're going, please pop them in the chat, and we'll come back to them at the end. Depending on how this goes, I may ask some feedback during as we go, because I want this to be interactive, but I want to make sure I get through all this material to give you guys as much value as I can. So like Adam said, I do have another brand called All or Nothing in Real Estate. If you're not following that, you should. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. I got a podcast. It's just a contribution that I give back to this industry that has given so much to me. So who am I? I'm known for growing my team from my basement, working on my ping pong table to ranked number 8 in the nation, number 1 in the state, number 8 in the nation. This year, we're going to close over 800 units. We're Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies 2 years in a row. Privileged to be in not only in Top Agent Experts and with this amazing network, but I run with John Cheplack and a bunch of people that are higher level in a different circle. So I bring that value to you as well. I'm privileged to be a coach for John Cheplack. So hopefully you guys get some of that knowledge today. I tell you all that to tell you that I'm just a normal guy. Like, those accolades are cool, but I'm just Matt. I'm just a husband, I'm just a dad, and I'm just a real estate agent that didn't quit. And so as an example, when I grew up, my graduating class had 30 students. That's where I come from. I worked at a family sawmill. Anybody that knows a sawmill, that's where I learned my work ethic. It wasn't fancy, right? I'm going to jump to my first month in real estate. My first month in real estate, I started this business as a dream. I wanted to get out of that family sawmill. I wanted more for me and my future family. And so as I was just trying to find my passion in different things, I was completely broke. I don't know about you guys, but they left the part out of real estate school that said you don't get paid on your first day, right? It takes a while to get the pipeline going. Not to mention I'd quit my job to take the real estate class so that I could get licensed. And so we had no food, no electricity, and a 6-week-old baby at home, and started in real estate. So a glorious start to the career. But before it got better, it got a little worse. Here's a picture of my lovely wife, my 6-week-old baby, and she got sick. And so for months, I was new to real estate. I was basically a single dad. My wife was bedridden at the hospital, and we went back and forth to the hospital every day trying to make my career in real estate when we didn't have any money. So my wife had multiple surgeries. One of the surgeries led to another surgery. The second surgery led to an infection. And at that point, my life would change forever. I remember holding my 6-week-old daughter, walking into the hospital, just like we were every single day. And this time something was different. I walked in and somebody kicked the door closed and said, "Sorry, you can't come in." Doctor comes out dressed in what only thing I can describe is a hazmat suit. And I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? Basically, he says, "I have bad news. Your wife has gotten a staph infection, and we tried to give her an antibiotic to get rid of it, but she's allergic to the antibiotic. So I have bad news." Either the antibiotic's going to kill her or the staph infection will, and we cannot poison her to kill her. So she has 24 hours to live. We will let you go in so you can say your goodbyes. That was life for me. A moment like that will change your life forever. Fortunately, she pulled through. She found another antibiotic. Here's my beautiful family. I tell you that story just to tell you that I look at life through the lens of life happens for me and not to me. I talk to too many agents, too many people that think, well, because of interest rates going up, this business isn't for me. And guys, I'm telling you right now, your mindset determines everything in your life. Everything starts and stops with mindset. If you could just adopt one principle from this whole presentation, you should write this down. Everything in life happens for you, not to you. You're not a victim of life. You are living your life. So use it as momentum, use it as a way to overcome, adapt, and change. All the success that I talked about earlier is because of the hardships that I've had. I am a better father than I would ever be had I not had that problem. I'm a better husband than I would ever be had I not had those issues. Another part of my story that I left out that I'll share with you is part of my EXP journey. When I partnered with Adam and joined this great company four years ago, I walked away from 97 listings, signs in the ground for this opportunity. Broker stole all that money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Long story short, that was a blessing. That happened for me. Because of that, because I've seen what I didn't want, the leaders that I didn't want to become, the leaders I didn't want to follow, I'm a better leader, have a better organization, have a better culture, and better agents than I ever would have. Those hundreds of thousands of dollars that I've left have now turned into millions because of those lessons and because of my mindset of looking through the lens of life happens for me and not to me. So what does this have to do with real estate? Absolutely everything. If you don't fix your mindset, you might as well get out of the market now. In the last 2 or 3 years, you've had your best years in real estate ever. At least you should have. If you didn't, we need a different conversation. It has been easy to sell. The hardest thing to do for the last 2 or 3 years is how do I get my offers accepted? I've got 6 buyers that want to buy the same house. How do I write the best offer so it gets accepted? Guys, that's not normal real estate. We have to get out of our own way and realize that what happened the last 2 or 3 years was not normal. If you had a pulse and a license, you could sell real estate, right? The market has changed. It's not changing. It's not shifting. It did. It's already there. It has shifted. Every market is different. I get it. But inflation has affected us all. Interest rates have affected us all. We are technically in a recession. All of those things change the market. So we can look at that as saying, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Inflation's up, interest rates are up, we're in a recession. I better go find a real job. Or we can use this as an opportunity that this has happened for us so we can take advantage of it. The market needed to normalize, guys. I call this a market normalization, not a market shift. Yes, shifts happen. It's a normal part of our cycle, but this is a normalization of the real estate market. That's a language you should use internally. If you have a team, it's a language you should use with your clients. This market isn't changing. This market isn't hard. It isn't difficult. It isn't challenging. This market is normalizing. Almost every market across the country, I'm fortunate enough to be in some rooms with people in Canada, people in other countries. The market is normalizing. It is getting back to a stable market, or at least closer to a stable market than it was. If you ask me, that's normalizing. What happened in the past was not normal. What we are moving towards is way more normal than it was. So the market is normalizing. If you use that language, it makes people less panicked and they can take opportunity in this market. You guys should write this one down. Agents can and do thrive in down or shifting markets. It is possible, but not everyone will, but anyone can. Guys, everybody can thrive in a shifting market. But it's what about the choices that you make? So I'm going to break down what some of those choices should be, in my opinion. Most people succeed in good times, not only because of what they did right, but in spite of what they did wrong. I want this to be an interactive part. Guys, tell me, in the last 3 years, have you kind of let some things slide? Have you prospected how you should have been? Have you lead generated how you should have? Or have you kind of rode the wave of a great market? Anybody else with me on that? Anybody rode the wave of a good real estate market the last 2 or 3 years? Yeah, no?
Yeah, yes.
Absolutely.
There we go. Okay. I knew it couldn't have just been me. All right, here's the facts. Here's where this becomes an opportunity. According to National Association of Realtors, 30% of real estate agents are going to be out of the business in the next like 8 months. They predicted this like 6 months ago. So you can ask me, Matt, how can you say inflation and the market changing, these shifts, all these things, how is all of this changing a good thing for me? Because your competition doesn't have the mindset or work ethic to work through it. Because they're not going to change and adapt to what is coming. They're used to what happened. And if you can take this and adapt to where the market is moving to and use this as fuel, as a way for you to get better and get ahead of the market change, the market normalization, you can not only be a survivor, but you can be a thriver. One of my coaches, Bill Pipes, gave me this stat. 30% according to National Association of Realtors. That's a third. 1 in 3 real estate agents out of the business. That provides opportunity, if you ask me. He also said, so there's 70% left. There's 10%. They're going to take advantage of this and look at this market through the lens of opportunity. And there's 10% that are going to thrive, and they're going to go from 0 to hero. They're going to go from someone that nobody heard of to somebody that is like, holy shit, where did this guy come from? Guys, back when my market was quote unquote hard, I'm that guy. I've done this. And you can too. This is an opportunity. Or you can be the 60% that just barely make it and just skim by. Choice is yours. Here's the cool thing. You don't really have a choice, actually. Discipline is coming in your life. If you're in real estate, discipline is coming. The market will discipline those who fail to discipline themselves. I choose to be ahead of this discipline. I choose to be ahead of the market shift. And I'm going to discipline myself. As an example, I just completed 75 hard for the 3rd time. Mental toughness challenge. Because I have to be the best I can be to be the best leader, the best person to support my family, my team members in this market. The oxygen mask analogy. I have to take care of myself first. I discipline myself so that I can be the best leader that I can to make sure that all these people that trust in me can make it through this market and can make it and actually thrive through this market. I love this term. The last 3 years, we didn't have real estate agents. All we had were lead consumers. Give me a lead, I'll go show a house. They want to write an offer, cool. I'll consume that lead. Guys, that's not what real estate is. We got to remember what got us here. If you've been in the market more than 3 years, it hasn't always been that way. There's on your license, it says real estate salesperson for a reason. It's time to get back to sales. Does this new market create fear? Of course it does. But this market is happening for us and not to us, just like life is happening for us and not to us. If we play the victim card and say, well, what are we going to do? Throw our hands up in the air because the market is changing. Guys, we can't change it. I have a rule in my life. I accept responsibility and I own every single outcome. Some might say it's because I'm a control freak. But I like to say it's because if I don't own it, I can't change it. If I'm a victim of the market, I can't adapt and overcome. But if I say, you know what, this market changing, cool, there's an opportunity. Where is it? And jump all in on that opportunity. Now this market is happening for me and not to me. So let's talk about fear. There's a lot of agents, and rightfully so. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some things that I'm working on that I've already worked through, that this market change, normalization, it scared me. And it should. But I didn't let it turn into panic or overwhelm. I didn't let it make me freeze. Because if you're panicked or you're overwhelmed, all you're going to do, the human reaction is just to freeze. Nothing good happens from panic or overwhelm. So you have to make sure to not let that fear turn and creep into that panic and overwhelm. Like, I get it. We've all got a story. We've all went through hard times. I know what it's like to have your back against the wall. I just told you a little bit about my story. I lived it. You think I'm going to let this market shift be the reason I come home and say, sorry, daughter, sorry, wife, we can't buy this, or this because the market shifted, because interest rates went up? You think I'm going to let that get in the way of what I can do for me and my family? Absolutely not. That's a choice that I make because it's happening for me, not to me. It is in my control. There's things that I can do to predict what my business is going to be. We've all had hard times. Don't let this hard time or this challenge put you in that panic or overwhelm. Don't let fear run your business in this market. Look for the opportunity. So how do you change and overcome? It's simple. Just a choice. Like literally, I simplify things. I don't have a lot of capacity, so I simplify things. How do you change? It starts with one choice. I heard this the other day. Well, I just had so much going on that I couldn't decide if I should do A or B. We've all had that, right? We've got a lot of decisions to make, and I don't have the capacity to make a choice. I've got news for you. Not making a choice is a choice. Not making the choice to make more phone calls, not making the choice to go all gas on offense, not making the choice to adapt in this market is still a choice. You want to change, it starts with a choice, and that choice is yours. Like I said, you got to shift your mindset. So I called this brand all or nothing. I've had that in me for years to get me to where I'm at. Is if I do something, I do it all in, or I don't do it. Too many real estate agents just half-ass this new initiative. Well, I'll kind of call this lead source. Oh, well, that 7-day blitz you run, that's too much for me. I'll call them twice. If they don't answer, that's good enough. Guys, it's the little details that win. You have to go all in. I kind of already talked about this. It's very important that you have a big vision for your life. What do you want? What is that big vision? You got to cast it. You got to say it out loud. Shout it from the rooftops. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. That big vision of what you want to accomplish. That vision that's so big that scares you. But you also have to celebrate the small victories along the way. Otherwise, you'll get an overwhelm and think that this up here is unaccomplishable. I've accomplished more in my life than I ever thought was possible. And I'm nobody special. Like I've got a long way to go. This is not a, oh, look how good I am. That's not what this is at all. But coming from where I came from, I've accomplished way more than I ever realized I would. I would not have done that if I would not have painted that big vision, why it was important to me, and then celebrated the small victories along the way. It's so important that you celebrate the small victories. Control the controllables. I talked about that earlier. My coach, John Cheplack, tells me this says this all the time. Everyone is looking at their windshield. They say, don't look at the rearview mirror, just focus forward, focus forward. You need to look in the rearview mirror. There's a reason, like saying the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror because that's where you need to focus. That's bullshit. The rearview mirror is smaller because you need to zone in and narrow in and focus on what happened in the past, because that's where your lessons are. You learn from your past. What mistakes did I make on that phone call? What mistakes did I make on that buyer or seller consult? What mistakes did I make in this market that I could maximize now? If you just work on being self-analyzing yourself, what can I do better next time when I get this situation? One at a time. That's how you can dominate this market, because I'm telling you right now, the hardest thing for any human being to do on the face of planet Earth is to change. And real estate agents, I'm telling you, all of you on this call, you have a hard next 2 years in front of you. I don't care what market you're in, because you're going to have to change regardless. When the market changes, you have to change as well. And the hardest thing to do as a human being is to change. We love to get stuck in our ways, whether they're good or bad. And if we don't change, if we don't discipline ourselves, the market will discipline us. It's time to get ahead of this change. Here's what I'm afraid of. The reason I'm so passionate about this is because I've been there and I know what that feels like. I know what rock bottom is. And I'm going to do whatever the hell it takes to not go back. I don't want you to have to experience that. I know it's going to be hard, but if we adjust the hard now before, so here's what happens. Most humans, this is how most humans think. Well, I'm doing okay, so I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. They wait till the pain to get so hard, and they can't, like the pain is so cut so deep that they finally make a choice and they make a change. Why do we wait for that pain to make that choice? I think we can all agree this market is changing and it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I think we can all agree. So why in the hell do we wait for the pain to get worse before we start taking the action we know we need to take? Change before the pain, and then you may not have to experience the pain. How cool would that be? Because you can become the 10%. A lot of people are worried about the money they're going to lose, real estate agents, in the next 2 years. Well, as this market continues to change, as interest rates keep doing whatever the hell they're doing, as home prices, whatever's going on, right? All the stuff that's going on, the recession, the elections, all that craziness is going on. I'm going to lose so much money. Potentially, yeah. Let's go back to the rearview mirror. I'd be willing to bet that you lost way more money in the last 2 years than you will in the next 2 years. Maybe you made more money than you ever made in your life, but you still left more on the table because we weren't mastering the fundamentals. When things got easy, we laid off. We just let things fall in our lap. We didn't exercise intention. We weren't doing what we knew we needed to do as agents because it got easy, myself included. It's time to look in the rearview mirror and think about what those things are and change them now. Let's talk about fear. So fear is a powerful thing. A lot of people are afraid of, well, if I tried this new initiative, if I jump into real estate and I don't make it, or if I have to get out of the business, I'm going to fail and other people are going to laugh at me. I need other people's approval in my life. Go back to that big vision. It's so important that we as humans understand what our purpose is. Whether you're an agent, whether you're a team leader, whether you're new to the business, it doesn't matter. What is your purpose? Because I had someone ask me yesterday, do you believe in work-life balance? Absolutely not. Work-life balance is bullshit. The biggest bullshit I've ever heard on the planet. Last time I checked, you got one life. You might as well live it. What are you doing with your life? Are you working with a purpose and a passion to serve your life, to serve others? When you have that why in your heart, you won't let other people's approval get in your way. You won't let the fear of failure get in the way. One of my buddies that runs the #1 team in the state of California, I did a podcast with him. He said, Matt, it is my mission, my goal every single day to come into my office and break shit. So what do you mean break shit? He said, I want to break it so that we can fix it. If I can find a hole in a system, in a process, in this and that, I know we're improving and getting better. I want to fail every day. I want to fail often. I want to fail fast. Guy runs the #1 team in the state of California. He purposely fails every single day. Don't be afraid of failure. That's how we grow. One of the biggest things that I run into is, and guys, I've done this. I still do this. One of the reasons I did 75 hard for the third time is because I'm a pretty good salesperson, especially with myself. I negotiate with myself every single day. Man, the alarm clock goes off. I know that bed feels warm. I don't want to wake up. Man, that cake smells good. I don't need to stay on my diet. Oh, I already got one appointment today. Do I need to make some more phone calls? I already set one. I'm good enough. We always negotiate with ourselves. It happens every single day. I want you guys to bear with me for a second. I want you to think, really think. If I had to say, who is the person you love the most in this world? The person that you want to live for, that you're motivated to do more, that you want to live life by example for. I want you to think of that person that you love the most. And the next time you negotiate with yourself, I want you to realize you're not negotiating with yourself. You're negotiating with the well-being of that person and everyone else that you love. When you think about it through that lens, there's a reason when we negotiate with ourselves, there's a reason I set my alarm clock to wake up at 5 a.m. My intention was to do something. Now I'm going to wake up and I'm going to outsmart myself from the day before. I'm not letting those people down. When you think peer-to-peer accountability is a real thing, right? Like if you go, let's use workout example. If you're going to the gym by yourself, sure, we might show up and go to work out every now and then, but we're way more likely to hit the snooze button. But if I have a workout partner that's going to be there at 5:30 a.m., the chances of me being there triple. A 300% more chance that I'm going to show up every single day because someone is counting on me. We tend to forget there's people counting on us in our life right now. And what our actions do every single day matter. Here's how I look at it. That 6-week-old baby that you saw, I act like I got a GoPro on my chest everywhere I go. And if she is watching me right now, is she proud? Is she proud of the person that I am? Is she proud of the action that I'm taking? Is she proud of the work I'm doing? Am I leading a life by example that I would want her to follow? That's what matters. And it all starts with a choice. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this stuff. That's the mindset stuff. This is the actions here that we need to take. So there's 2 things lacking in our industry. Number 1 is sales skills. We forgot how to be salespeople because we didn't have to. We were order takers and get in line, take a number. How much over asking price do you want to write? Cool. That was the business that we've been in the last 3 years. And also, we lack consistency. I say this to my team all the time. Some of them are on here. If you're going to put a number to it, put a number, say it's 300 phone calls that you're going to make in a week's time, right? Say that that's the number. I would rather you make a half of the number of calls, 150 calls, if you did the same amount consistently every single day, versus coming in one day, just hammering out 300 and then doing nothing the rest of the week. That consistency, that follow-up cadence, that trust that you build with your people by building that relationship and that cadence and consistency of following up with those leads, that's where the magic is. Consistency matters. Stole this slide from Adam. Talk about a change in market as an opportunity. The last recession, the Great Recession in 2008, 17% increase in the number of millionaires. 17% increase and 19% increase in their net worth. Guys, those are huge numbers. In the worst economic times of the recent history of the country, 17% more millionaires and 19% increase in their net worth. Why? They educated themselves. They made adjustments to their model. They doubled down on the fundamentals of their business. They acted quickly and decisively. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. Those new millionaires and those millionaires that increase their net worth, I guarantee you they looked at the recession as an opportunity. If they were in your shoes right now, would they say, oh, poor me? Or would they say, holy shit, let's go. This is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen in my career. That's what winners are doing. Again, life happens for you, not to you. You have to have the 0 options mentality. 0 options. I'm going to do this and nothing's going to get in my way. Whether that's dials, whether that's conversations, whether that's appointments, whatever it is, a leading indicator that you can control, that nothing will get in the way. Do that every single day consistently. I'll break down some ideas here later, but you have to have that 0 options mentality. You have to have the right mindset. Guys, you get knocked down in this market. You'll have people that want to wait. You'll have people that delay because their interest rates go up, whatever, right? There's going to be shit that happens. It's real estate. That's what you signed up for. It's not about getting knocked down. It's about how you get back up. Reminds me of Rocky Balboa, right? It's not about the hits you take. It's about how you get back up every single time. Persevere. The great Tony Robbins said 80% of the salesperson's success is dictated by the mindset that they have. That's why I spent most of this time talking about mindset. You can do the right actions all day, every day. If you don't do them with the right intention and the right mindset behind it, it does not matter. You have to get your mind right first. This is one of my favorite stories. This is a story of 2 brothers. They were interviewed at separate times. Nobody knew they were brothers. They were doing a poll. They interviewed a guy all dressed up in a suit. He's a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, makes millions of dollars a year, super, super successful in anybody's caliber of success. They asked him, what was the one thing that you contribute your success to? My father, was his answer. My father was an alcoholic. My father wasn't there for me in my life. He showed me the person that I didn't want to be. Because of that, I adapted and overcome. I'm a better father. He didn't make money and support his family. I do. I am who I am because of the father that was not in my life. They interviewed a homeless man. You're homeless, you're living on the streets, you don't have any money, you don't have a job. I'm curious, what is the one thing that contributed to you being where you are in your life? He said, my father. My father wasn't in my life. He was a drunk. He was an alcoholic. He wasn't there to support me and my family. And so because of that, I didn't have any opportunities and I had no chance in life. Come to find out, these are brothers. They had the same damn father. It was about the choices that they made. One chose to be a victor. The other chose to be a victim. The choice is yours in this market, guys. You're going to be a victor or a victim. We all are dealing with the same market. Don't be a victim. I look at this as a huge opportunity. It's time to separate. Separation season. It's time for us, the elite, the people that are willing to work, the people that have the heart in this to do great things, to take this opportunity and take our business to the next level, to serve more people, to serve our communities, to serve our families, to serve our teams, because not everyone is willing to change. But if we can have the mindset of a rookie, I don't know about you guys, but when I first started in real estate, I was knocking down brick walls, left, right, everywhere. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just doing. Now we get in our own way. We have the curse of experience. Let me give you an example. And I hope I don't have too many people on my team here. I'm going to give away a secret. Here's one of the keys that I look out for if a new agent that joins my team. That's a yellow flag that I need to look out for and get out in front of. If they get a contract in the first 2 weeks, I'm like, oh, fuck. They're going to expect it's this easy every time. I have to get out in front of that so they understand the work that it truly takes to build a business and sustainable, predictable business. Don't get me wrong. I want them to get a contract right away. But I've just seen over time, if they don't experience a little bit of that pain and that work that it takes to build a sustainable business, that it gets in the way and they expect, just like we expect the last 2 or 3 years is how it's going to continue. It's not going to. We all know business just doesn't fall in our lap every single day. There aren't just buyers and sellers raining down on our doors. There's a process. So the curse of experience, the unwillingness to change. When you were a rookie, I could give you a script today, a new script tomorrow, a new script the next day, and you're all gung-ho. You're just 100% on fire. Like, you know what? I'm just going to run that direction because I fully trust in my coach, my trainer, my mentor, my team leader, whatever. I'm just going to run with it. Now we tweak everything because we have the experience. Well, this script just it isn't going to work for me. I had one person hang up on me. I'm not using that script no more. Right? Like, we have to realize that we have to get out of our own way. The economy. Economy is what it is. I create my own economy. Call it the action economy. If I take enough action, I'm going to win. Period. All right, how to make $100,000 plus in any market. We're going to get to the nitty gritty here. Oh, this slide's out of place. That's all right. So, should you be afraid of this market? Here's why you should be afraid. Number one, if you don't have the skills. If you don't have the skills for this market, you should be afraid. Number two, if you haven't developed the disciplines that this market's going to take, you should be scared. If you don't have a clear strategy of what you need to do. If you don't have those 3 things, you should be afraid. If you need help, I'm going to give you the answers to those 3 things today. And if I don't, I want you to ask at Q&A what you may be missing. My goal is for you to walk away with all 3 of these things so you don't have to be afraid. So number 1 is mindset. I think I've covered that pretty in depth, but it's that important. That's first and foremost. If you don't adopt this mindset of everything we went over, the rest of the call is worthless. If you came on this just to say, well, what's that one secret? Guys, there is no secret to success. There is no shortcut. You got to take the stairs. It takes work. But what is crazy is not very many people are willing to take those stairs. When you take those stairs, the lessons you learn, the muscle you build, the memory that you build by taking the stairs over and over and over again, you are head and shoulders above anyone else. The elevator can't catch you at that point. That's what mindset does. Guys, you got to practice. You may not want to hear it. You may say, well, I've been in real estate for so long and this and that. And that's true and good for you. If you're not willing to practice, I can't help you. You have to be willing to practice and do what it takes in this market. Here's the problem with practice. I hear it all the time from agents I coach, agents on my team, you name it. Well, I'm pretty good at setting appointments. I don't need a role play. Last time I checked, pretty good doesn't win championships. You think Tom Brady stops going to practice because he got pretty good at throwing this one route? Guys, we have to focus on practice. And here's another thing. Well, last role play that I did, I nailed it. So I'm good. I don't need to practice no more. Champions don't stop when they get it right. They stop when they can't get it wrong. Tom Brady, love him, hate him, whatever. You got to respect him. Best of all time. John Cheplack is friends with Heath Evans, who was on one of the Patriots Super Bowl teams. He was a running back. And John asked Heath, how was it working with Tom Brady? He said it was the fucking most miserable but rewarding time of my life, because we were monotonous on the details. We were handing off the football. If I was a half a centimeter left or late or early, we did it again and again and again. And then once we got it right, we did it 100 more times until we got it perfect 100 times in a row. But that's what it takes for champions to win. Here's another thing. For those of you that say, well, I don't need role play, I don't need to practice. I'm just here to tell you, if you don't practice in role play, you're practicing on your clients, and your clients deserve better. If you're in this for the right reasons to help your clients, you owe it to them to practice daily. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours in role playing. Guys, a little bit. Before you start your power hour, which I'm going to recommend here in a minute, practice your scripts on who you're going to call. Get warmed up. Get warmed up before you go and play on the field. You need to focus on mastery. Mastery wins every single time. Mastery is you learn it, you do it, you teach it. Say you master something. That's the simplified version of mastery. Just because you learned it doesn't mean that you have it. You have to put it to action enough to where you can teach it to others. Once you can teach it to others, then you start to peak over the peak of mastery. If you've ever done something and then tried to teach something, you will understand what I'm saying. There's a massive gap there. You have to be able to teach it. That's how you master it. Education, this is a huge one, both for yourself, for your clients, for your community. I did a podcast on this in my All or Nothing channel. Went on a little bit of a rant because it just drives me insane that real estate agents think that they don't need to have the education. Guys, if you are not spending 10 to 15 minutes every single day educating yourself on the current state of the market, why in the hell would your clients trust you? Educate yourself on what is going on in the market every single day. You have to be the resource. Otherwise, if you are not the trusted resource, guess who is? Mainstream media. And that's never a good thing. I don't care which side of the fence you're on politically. We can all agree mainstream media is complete garbage. We have to be the education resource. Keeping Current Matters is a great resource for us to do that. Check out Keeping Current Matters. There's lots of great info there. It's very affordable. Highly recommend it. Also educate your clients on, Adam went over this last week, the Buyer's Advantage program, the Worry-Free Listing program, anything that is your USPs, your unique selling propositions. You need to be the resource of those and use those as an opportunity to get more people in front of you, get face-to-face with your clients. You need to understand what's going on with interest rates. You need to understand what is going on in the world of real estate and the world around you. You need to be the lighthouse so you can educate them. Now, I'm not saying go doom and gloom, but you also need to be a trusted real estate advisor. In order to be trusted, you have to give them the truth. You can't always manipulate the data to make it sound good for them. Sometimes just giving them the truth is what they need because no one else is willing to do that. Of course, you got to prospect. I recommend 2 hours of prospecting a day right now. Here's what I'm telling my team. Here's what I'm learning from my coaches, from other circles that I'm running in. It is going to take twice the activity to get a similar result. But I challenge you to go back and look your last 12 months of activity and say, would I be willing to double that for the same amount of money? 95% of you would be overwhelmingly, hell yeah, I would, all day, every day. But we get stuck in the, well, I think maybe I can just skate by because I was able to do it last year. Guys, the market will discipline those who fail to discipline themselves. 2 hours of prospecting intentionally focused. This is after you do your education every day, after you do your role play, 2 hours of tunnel vision. That is my appointment every single day. You hear a lot of gurus talk about prospecting, right? You need to be a prospecting-based business to have predictable business. I don't care if you're a single agent, you're on a team, it doesn't matter. You have to be proactive, and that is prospecting to have a predictable business. 100% agree with that. But I think especially in today's times, what people undervalue is the fortune being in the follow-up. You have to follow up and be that proactive follow-up person. So I'm going to go off script here and go over a script that I learned and some breakaways that I had from the last sales mastery event I was at with one of my coaches, Bill Pipes. He broke down how to follow up with your leads properly. Would that be valuable to anybody? Let me see some hands. How to follow, what to say. Okay, cool. I was hoping I wasn't the only one because I hear it all the time from my agents, and I don't sell real estate anymore. So it's kind of, I just want to make sure I was on the right path. But what do I say when I follow up? I just talk to them. They want to buy in 3 months. What do I say when I follow up? Let me give you 5 follow-up conversation points. You guys should write these down. Number 1. Hey, Bill, I was just thinking about you because of the changing market conditions. Were you aware of A, B, C, and D in the area? I'm providing value. Number 2, were you aware of the increase or decrease in interest rates? By the way, did you guys notice, this is part of the education, interest rates decreased the most drastic that they have in the last like 20 years? Do your clients know that? Because they should. You should be screaming from the rooftops. Every marketing, every follow-up, every call should mention that. That's huge news. You think CNN's spreading that around everywhere? Hell no. It's up to us. Be the trusted advisor for your clients. Number 3, new properties they may be interested in. That one's pretty easy, right? But don't just send them properties. Be proactive with the properties. If it's a seller, even a buyer sometimes, homes like theirs or in their neighborhood that have sold. Number 5, success stories of clients that have bought or sold in a similar situation as them. Hey, I had another client that was very similar to you. They were thinking of waiting till next spring also. However, they took advantage of this Home Buyers Advantage program. They took advantage of this 2-1 buy down our lender is offering, and they were able to find the home of their dreams. And I just wanted to share that story with you to let you know that was possible. Give them hope and inspiration through normalizing someone else that is in a very similar story. We have to tell stories to give them hope because, again, we are the lighthouse. We are the educating source for our clients. Cool. Number 5, most real estate agents screw this part up. You can do everything else right, and you get to the appointment, and you just fall flat on your face. There's only 2 ways to end an appointment. Number 1, you write a contract, or number 2, you set a second appointment. That's it. No other options. No more, oh, I'll touch base. Let me know what you think. Guys, that's dead. That's weak-ass sales skills, and this market demands more. If they need to think about it, cool. See Chris on here. Hey, Chris, I completely understand you and your wife want to think about it. No problem. I'll follow up with you tomorrow at 10 a.m. to see what your thoughts are and see if I find any other properties that may work for you guys. Talk to you at 10. I set another appointment. You got to be specific. If you just say, hey, I'll call you tomorrow, that's not specific enough. Set an appointment. And then this is one of my favorite parts of the scripts that I got from Coach Pipes. The reason you set that appointment is because line 1 is, hey, Chris, Matt Smith here, Matt Smith Real Estate Group. I'm calling you back just like I said I would. I'm building that trust and rapport with my clients. How many of you raise your hand if you talk to a client, a buyer or seller that said, I don't trust real estate agents? This builds trust with them. That's how you follow up to build trust. That's why go back to the consistency piece, right? It's not about how much you can do in one day. It's how long of a span of time can you make sure that you can spread that energy out consistently. Daily tasks to dominate today's market. Guys, real estate's a contact sport. We forgot that. You got to get face to face. It's a contact sport. If you want to survive in this market 5 days a week, you have 5 conversations a day. I don't care if that's face to face. I don't care if that's video text. I don't care if that's on the phone. Preferably, they're all face to face. You need to talk to 5 people a day about real estate, educate them on one of the 5 points I just told you. Every single day. If you want to win, talk to 10 people a day. I'll tell you the top 10%, here's what they're doing. They're talking to 20. Here's a little trick to get to that 20 number, because that sounds like a lot consistently. What if you had a cadence in a CRM where you actually manage your business like a business, like we all should? And let's talk about the warm buyers. Let's put ourselves in a warm buyer pod right now. To me, warm buyers are somewhere in the range of 30, 90, 120 days out of buying, right? Sometimes 90 it depends on how you're running your business. We adjust that depending on the market. But they're a B buyer. They told us they want to buy. They just want to wait, let's pretend 3 months, right? They're all, say you have however many of those you have in your funnel. Hopefully you've got a lot. Otherwise you're operating a business on accident, just so you know. You need to plan that, know what your 3 months from now looks like. That's how you build a real business. But if you were to send them all a video text, following up with one of these, hey, I just want to let you know about the interest rates that just dropped. Here's what it was. Just a personal video text you send to all of them. That's way better than, hey, just checking in, haven't found any new properties yet. Guys, that counts as the contact. We think contacts mean we got to talk to a stranger. No, most important part of your contacts is building a relationship with people, because relationships are going to win no matter the market. You want to know the true secret to make $100,000 plus in any market? Build better relationships, because you don't have to rely on lead sources when you have relationships. Our number one lead source at Matt Smith Real Estate Group, by far, people reaching out to us because of the experience we deliver, because of the amazing people and values that we have. You have to focus on the relationships. You don't do that through just calling leads. The fortune is in the follow-up for multiple reasons. This is also kind of a mindset shift thing that I have, is a lot of people have a negative connotation with being desperate. Well, if you're being desperate, that's a bad thing. It can be. But when you're desperate, when your back's against the wall, what's going to get in your way? When you're in fight or flight mode, you're coming out of that wall swinging. It's time to get desperate for this market. Don't let anything get in your way. No excuses. 0 options. Get desperate. You're going to do whatever it takes to win in this market. When you have that mindset, I promise you, 2 years from now, you will thank yourself. Don't let complacency win. Complacency kills. This is my coach, John Cheplack, says this all the time, and it's so true. Commitment smokes talent every single time. The most committed person wins. Commitment smokes talent every single time. Are you going to be more committed than your competition? You want to know the secret to winning? Commitment. That's it. All right, here's the proven processes. Role play a minimum of 30 minutes per day. Proactively prospect, follow up, and lead generate for 2 hours per day. A lot of real estate agents look at that and say, well, that's stupid. I don't have to do that to be successful. They're going to go from hero to zero in this new market. You watch, mark my words. And here's my counter to that. That still leaves 5.5 hours of a normal workday left. What are you doing? If you're not willing to do that as this market is adjusting and normalizing, what are you doing? If you worked a real job, you would even work more than 2.5 hours a day. That's all I'm asking you to do. Proactively work on your business 2.5 hours a day. If you do that, you will make way over $100,000 this next year. Promise you. Well, that one lead, that one stranger wanted to see a house during my prospecting hour, so I can't prospect today. We find any excuse not to prospect, not to follow up, that gets in the way. That's a non-negotiable appointment. 0 options. Prospecting is the most important thing on my schedule today. That's how you have to treat it. You also need to Speaking of relationships, you need a killer past client plan. Killer. Create a Ravens fans group. Adam talks about that. There's some information in the group. You need to throw client events. You need to follow up with them. The closing is the beginning of the relationship, not the end. Treat it that way. When you're working with a buyer or seller, you have enough communication. They should be close friends by the time at closing table. Most of them, right? We don't want to be friends with all of them. There's some of them that they could probably use a different agent next time. But most of them we love, and we have built that relationship. And it is, we all have heard the stats before, right? It's like 67% of home buyers said they would use their agent again, but like 13% do or something crazy. It's because we expect them to follow up with us. Guys, literally 10% of your past clients should be redoing business with you every single year. 10%. If you're seriously, find your database, find your past clients. If you're not converting at 10%, you need to better your past client plan. It needs to be proactive. You need to throw client events. One of the events we're getting ready to throw is photos with Santa. We're going to call every single one of our past clients. We're going to email them. We're going to send them mailers, because that is our touch point with that person. Because not only do we want them to transact with us again, but they also have friends. And if we deliver the client experience as we should have, so over the top, they've already told their friends, but over time, that is diminished. We want to remind them how cool we are, how great we are, how great of an experience they had. We got photos for them and their family with Santa, right? Like, guys, that stuff makes a huge, huge difference. Another thing that works really well is easy CMA strategy. One of my listing agents just texted me today, right before this, said, hey, I forgot to tell you, I did 5 easy CMAs yesterday. All 5 of them responded to me, said, thank you so much for the information. That was great. I'll upload easy CMA strategy into the group too after this. So you guys have that, but it's a whole proven process. Basically, it's a way to have another touch point with past clients and fall on the sword, so to speak. If I've not done a good enough job of following up with you, I just had a call from my financial advisor. Let me know where my retirement plan was. And I just thought, you invested in real estate and I'm your real estate advisor. I want to do a better job of letting you know where you stand on your investments. So here's some research I've done for you. I'm out in front of them over and over and over, providing them value. Create an irresistible offer. Adam talked about the Home Buyer Advantage program. I'm sure he's got that recording if you want to go back and watch that. Guys, that was gold. There's also a worry-free listing program. I know Adam and Mike Gerbic have both kind of been the pioneers of those. Both of those are fantastic, irresistible offers to create. If you're worried about how do I set the appointment, well, this person says they want to wait. Instead of saying, well, they're going to wait because of the market, maybe they're going to wait because you haven't done a good enough job as a salesperson creating that irresistible offer for them in their situation. What makes you stand out? Why should they use you over your competition? Why should they use you even in this market? Have you educated yourselves on why it's a good time for them to buy right now or sell right now? And do you have a value proposition that ties up to it that makes it important for them to buy or sell? Guys, that's our job. We just forgot it because the market was so damn easy. Another one too for irresistible offer is if you're not, you need to get with lenders and see what they have to offer. But here's what I did. I just sat down with one of our trusted lenders. I shot 2 hours of videos with them talking about the irresistible offers that are mine, but they're theirs. I'm just recreating their platform. They have 2-1 buy downs, 3-2-1 buy downs. They're going to refinance the next 5 years for free. It's all the lenders' programs, but I'm packaging it as my own. Hey, if you work with us here at Matt Smith Real Estate Group for the next 5 years, you can refinance and the lender will waive their costs. That's a program we're running just for you. It ain't our program, it's theirs. Hey, Mr. Home Buyer, did you know that if you were to buy today, there's a chance you could get 2% less on your interest rate right now at no cost to you? Would that get you back in the market? Cool, let's go look tomorrow. That's not even my program. It has nothing to do with me. The lender's offering it right now because lenders are hurting too. And I'm packaging it as my own. And now I'm the go-to. My team is the go-to. If you want a better interest rate, go to Matt Smith Real Estate Group. We have to think outside the box. Another one, this is a great one for being the lighthouse. A lot of people think email is dead, and I did too, until my coach, John Cheplack, proved me wrong. I followed his process. We have a weekly cadence of emails that go out now, And if you guys sign up for All or Nothing, if you join that, you'll probably be added to those emails. Hopefully it'll provide value to you. But we also do it for our consumer business. We send out 30,000 emails. That is a blast once a week. We have a 40% open rate. It's like 13,000 people a week are seeing my brand, seeing my message, seeing something of value I'm providing to them. Now, when my agents call them, my ISAs call them, it's not a cold call, it's a warm call. All these little things add up to where people want to have conversations, want to talk on the phone. So where we forgot that we have to be salespeople and we have to make people aware of what's going on. Then we have to be the value add and we have to solve their problem. So a lot of people say, well, what do you send out in your emails? Number one, a market update every single month. Market update. I'm educating the consumer. You guys can steal off mine. Go back, find my channels, watch what I do. Just put your own numbers in. I do a home buyer or seller tip. Hey, top 3 things buyers need to know in this market. I do a spotlight a local business. And then they share it on their page. Then everybody wins, right? And then I also do what's happening in our community. Because I want to be the resource for my community, not just real estate. Literally, I've had people call the office and say, hey, what's going on next month? What's going on in December in the area? Is there any cool things with Santa we know about? Like before we even did our event. Because we're the resource. Because we provide them all this information. They hadn't seen anything out from us yet. This is one of my favorite quotes. Heard this from my friend Dan Beard. Purpose is greater than approval. Let's go back to the mindset. I think why most people let fear get in their way to stop them from doing what they want to do is because they're afraid that other people are going to judge them. They're afraid of what other people are going to think. Here's what I challenge you. Find a purpose that is greater than other people's approval. If your purpose is big enough, it doesn't matter what they think. You're not doing it for them anyway. This picture always reminds me of my purpose. I remember that day. Find your purpose. Close it up. Life is happening for us, not to us. This market is the greatest opportunity I have ever seen. If you don't look at this market as an opportunity, you're going to end up another statistic and you're going to be part of the 30%. I hope this opens some eyes. I hope this helps you. And now I'll open it up to questions. What do you guys got?
I love it, Matt. Great stuff. Great stuff. Let me unmute you guys here. I had to mute people as they were coming in. I was trying to control the background noise.
I got a question.
Yeah, go for it. Somebody said they had a question, and I don't know what happened here, guys. You guys can go and unmute yourself. I'm trying to unmute all, but oh, okay. Hold on here. Yeah, you guys can unmute yourself now. Well, now you can. I had to enable it. There you go. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, now we're good.
Okay.
Hi, Matt. I really like what you're talking about going into this next year as a rookie. It's kind of ironic. I just picked up this little book. That's what it is, right? It's your first 365 days in real estate. I've been in real estate for over 21 years, but that's the way I'm going into this next year too. You have to just get back to basics. I appreciate that reminder. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for that. That's awesome. I bet that book has some good takeaways. We forget. It's like you can use that. Hey, I've been in business. You said 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's usually to your benefit. But I can make the argument that's to your detriment in this market. And so kudos to you for going back to the basics and understanding. Like literally, I got two newbies out in the hall. They're maybe listening here. But I told them, I said, don't tell the other agents on the team, which are on here now, so I don't care if they know, but don't tell the other agents on the team, but you have an advantage over them because you don't understand what it was like. You don't know how good it was 6 months ago, 12 months ago. So you have the advantage. You understand right now, use this as your opportunity. And I tell my story too of when I got in our area, everyone else had given up because our military base had just exploded and it was just a frenzy and everybody was bellies were full, kind of like it is right now. And I just drove in with work ethic and used that from zero to hero mentality. So like I'm proof that it can happen. And I know it happens in markets across the country. I want those markets to be your guys' markets and I want it to be you. Cool. Anyone else have any questions, comments?
I think just a comment as well is it is getting back to the basics for those of us that have been in 20 plus years. And what I'm doing over these last 2 weeks is touching base with everyone on are they in or out? And trying to put a few more adjectives in there, but are you in or out? And sometimes over all these years of carrying a large team, you got to give people that are not wanting to do it permission to go find something else to do. And so I know that we've used the referral division with a couple of them, but it seems like some of those people, if they don't want to put in the time, they don't want to show up, they don't want to, do what it takes to get back to the basics. It seems that those people come in and they usually utilize everybody else's time. And so that's kind of going another direction. But I think it's kind of time in the year to take a good look at all of your team members and do those one-on-ones and what do they want and what do they want to do and how can you help them get there?
Yeah.
Whether it's something else or to stay.
I love that. I think it's phases, right? I think as team leaders, we owe it to them to help them bring it to their awareness of, hey, things have changed. And we have to repeat that message a few times before they understand it. It's our responsibility. If we truly love our people, the highest form of love you can show them is accountability. And so there's accountability that has to be tied in on the back end. I love that.
Hey, Tammy, that's a great thought. And the biggest problem I had when I got into this shift, like the first, whatever, economic downturn 12, 13 years ago, was all of these veterans having to listen to this kid with the system and activities that was working. And Matt hit the nail on the head. It is easier to, coach someone up as long as they're, coachable, hungry, humble, all that stuff, versus unlearning, like what Matt was saying, and having to relearn with that experience. And that is the toughest thing to do for all of the veterans and currently where we're going. And so Matt is right. They're at an advantage because they don't know what they don't know versus having to unlearn and relearn.
Correct. I mean, that's the old Gerbic line, coach them up or coach them out. And I think as humans, it's just psychology. Like I've had 3 people say, well, I didn't want to disappoint you. And I'm like, well, what about your family? Yes. And so I think you got to go ahead. And if it's truly, this is a very expensive hobby. So unless you have an abundance of, cash flow that you just want to hang out, because I mean, our lunches aren't that great. You need to either commit, and we have accountability meetings every single week. And the people in my group probably want to be in Grant's group or Amber's group.
Love it. I see a question here. Platforms you use to send your weekly emails. So I use MailChimp right now until they kick me out. But our open rates have improved, so I don't think they will. But I use MailChimp for my emails, but it integrates with Follow Up Boss. And so I segment my audiences through Follow Up Boss, but I send it through MailChimp, if that makes sense. And to clarify, I think Katie's the one that asked that question. That's not just, so I do segment. So as an example, I'll do certain emails to certain audiences, but the 40% open rate is to my entire database, everyone except for trash. Like I'm sending those weekly emails to everyone because I want past clients to know, but I also want potential future clients to know. I also want community leaders to know that I'm the community to go to. Any other questions or comments?
Hey, Adam,
What's up?
this be the recording posted on Top Agent?
Yeah, we'll get I'll post it back in the original post with Matt with the picture, and it'll be in the comments.
All right, thank you.
Well, guys, I hope this was helpful. I appreciate you all jumping on. Any other questions before we wrap it up?
Great stuff. Well, we got another question.
No, I was just gonna say happy Thanksgiving. Great job, Matt.
Thanks.
Yep. So I appreciate it, Matt. So the people that are on this call, this is our new 2% top agent experts weekly mastermind call for agents built around production and driving revenue and being able to showcase the top 5% leaders and producers and builders inside of top agent experts to hop on here and mix it up. And so I kicked it off last week. We have Matt this week. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you. I appreciate the partnership and everything that you went through with moving your whole team in the basement, all of those listings that you walked away, to believe there had to be a better way and opportunity that you could create for your agents and for yourself down the road. And so all of that stuff matters, but I just appreciate the risk that you took doing that, because if you don't risk the biscuit, you're not going to get the gravy. And so you guys have done some phenomenal things, and I'm just blessed to be able to know you and Amanda, and all your agents and our new partners that we're building with your modern team, and stuff like that. Like, I'm just super thankful to work with very like-minded people, and that why is huge, and that Midwest work ethic and things like that. It's like you can't hold a candle to what you guys are doing over there. And I know when I went and spoke, I said that at dinner, like, what you guys have going on right now is special, and hopefully you guys are cherishing it, and hopefully you guys understand it and enjoying it while you guys are doing it at its finest and highest. And so I appreciate all of you guys on this call, and I'm blessed to be able to work with you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy some downtime with your family. Yes, things are down. Yes, it's going to be a cold winter. Yes, it is all of those things, but it is going to make you better. And
Doug, can you check if we have sugar, regular sugar and brown sugar? A whole bag?
yeah, we're going to need the cake. We're going to need the cake too there at Thanksgiving,
Can you
guys.
just go double check? Look on the bottom things for me. I know.
Anyways, we're going to need the cake and all that stuff too. But lean into other people. Like, Matt's like, let's get another call on the board. And I don't tell anyone this, guys, but Live and Direct is coming back. And so I got some big news in the next couple of weeks where also Live and Direct is coming back. We've added this call. We've added some other things. And so I'm having to restructure and do things in Wichita, up in Toronto, with this overall group to make changes that, are going to position myself and all of us and people that are in alignment with me to have a great spring. And so let's do the hard stuff that Matt was talking about now, and condition ourselves with those new habits, and just accept the reality of the fact that there's a lot of things that we're not in control of, but what's control what we are in control of. And it's our effort and our attitude. And so I appreciate you guys, unless Matt, you got any other parting shots here?
Yeah, I want to close it out on this. Is part of this presentation that I shortened is it's so crucial. Adam talked about the partnership. Like, I wouldn't be where I'm at without the partnership of this great network. So dive in. There is so much value here, but I also wouldn't be where I'm at without the amazing team that supports me. Like, it's not me, it's us. And so I just encourage you guys to spread that message to your team. Like, it's very easy. Here's something from my leadership. I'll share a nugget this morning from my leadership meeting. Is right now our main focus isn't sales, because when times get tough, what has the most stress? Culture. When times get hard, people try to find something that's wrong. It's time for us to double down on culture to help people through this cold winter, as Adam said. So remember, you can't do anything great without great people, whether it's this network, your team, etc. So pour into your people. That's all I got, guys. Unless Adam has anything else, I'm going to jump off. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, make it a great week. Let me know if you guys.
Thank you.
Just do it.